Now up next is Eliud Chemweno, Mastercard Foundation, Head EdTech Ecosystem in Kenya. Now this next presentation is more of a showcase, and it spotlights innovative, accessibility-driven EdTech solutions that advance more inclusive and high-quality digital learning across Africa. Eliud Chemweno, the stage is yours. Let's welcome him.
Good afternoon, everyone. He's trying to negotiate with me about time now. How is everyone doing? You're well? I know it's the last day, it's the afternoon, probably people are feeling a little tired, so we'll try and make this as exciting and as engaging as we possibly can. As you've heard, my name is Eliud Chemweno with Mastercard Foundation. I had the work on EdTech within Mastercard Foundation. So it is really such a great opportunity for us to be here at the conference. And I want to say this upfront, that our presence in the conference, particularly the EdTech companies that are present in the conference, is not accidental. You know, assistive technology on accessibility, on what it genuinely means to design for every learner, is central to the work that we're doing. But why is this important to Mastercard Foundation? Mastercard Foundation's mission is simple but ambitious, you know, to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to learn and prosper. And in Africa and in the continent, our continent, that mission is really anchored in our Young Africa Work Strategy, as you heard from one of my colleagues who spoke in the morning, around the goal of enabling 30 million young people, the majority of them being women, to access dignified and fulfilling work. And we do actually have a target on inclusion. And education is really at the foundation of that. So, and you cannot connect young people to opportunity if learning systems meant to prepare them are leaving people behind. And that's why really harnessing technology and innovation to strengthen these systems and to ensure that those pathways from learning to work are real, inclusive, and built for scale. Now, on to the fellowship. So the fellowship part was really built with one simple conviction, and that conviction is that education challenges within the continent will not be solved by solutions from other places. They will be solved by solutions that are homegrown, that are developed by innovators based in the continent who understand the context, the cultural nuances and the constraints, and who we are building for. So at Mastercard Foundation, we are supporting early to growth stage EdTech entrepreneurs across the continent with technical assistance and the ability to help them grow and reach more learners, as it were. But the bar, of course, for entry for this innovation is high, and it has to be, the design for those solutions has to be equitable. And we ask every EdTech company that joins the program is, who are you building this for? Who might you leave behind? Why did you do what you're doing? And how is inclusion? And inclusion is not an add-on for us. It is a design requirement. So I think, so what we will do over the next couple of minutes, we have about 30 EdTech companies that are 31 EdTech companies. With the time that we have, it's not practical to have all of them speak. But what we'll do is we'll only showcase about 8 of them. But before we showcase 8 of them, I want to recognize all the other EdTech companies that are actually in the room. So I will call on the different EdTech companies, and I call on you, I'll request you to stand, and then so the room can recognize you, and then after that, we'll call on the 8 EdTech companies that will do a quick showcase. All right? Okay. I will start with Monewa from Young Aspiring Thinkers. Yeah, it's based in South Africa. Kobelo is doing the marking up. Kobelo in the room. Oh, he's right at the back there. Yeah. And then we have Jackson Shabalala from Lever Foundation. And then Busiswe Paul from ThinkShift. Shamano, Badilan. Awesome. And then Barry from Dalza. Dalza. Awesome. You're right over there. Christine and Amy Kanyisa. And then we have Edwin from Include Ed. James from Advantage Learning. James Liz, Advantage Learning. James Onganga from Loho Learning. Brenda from Angaza Elimu Vida. Brenda, are you there? Thank you, Brenda. Lamwell from Smart Brain. Lamwell, are you there? Okay, you're not there. All right. Clara Masinde from Nabu. Clara, if you're there, would love to acknowledge you. All right, Clara might be out. Julius Momanyi, virtual. Thank you, Julius. Georgina Auma, Georgina from Abdinur Ali from Mluga. Abdinur is not here. Victor Malombe from AHA Innovate. Mumbe Mwangangi from Kanyisa AI. Thank you, Mumbe. Don't worry, I'm almost done. I just want to make sure that everyone is recognized. And then Lilian Nyaranga from Elimu Shop. Mike Bill from Verb Education rather. Thank you, Mike. Terry Shihundu from Funke Science. Thank you, Terry. Ike from Deaf Can Talk. And then Busola Tom from Craft Education. And then Uchiega from Mavis Computers. Uchiega. Thank you, Uchiega. Gabriel from Taifa Tech. Thank you, Gabriel. George Akilimali from Ekima. And then Heba and Ahmed Ali. Thank you so much. And then Fikre from Code Lab Training. Okay. Mustafa Diop from Janglama. And then Mark from Scribe. Thank you so much. So I think what I'll do next is that because, again, of course, we can't have all the 30 of them here, allow me to invite, we only have 6 seats here right now. I'll invite the first 6, and then we'll have the last 2 of them. So let me have Dals Learning, Deaf Can Talk, Scribe Me, Ikitabu, and Uptike. And because time is not on our side, so for each of the fellow, you have, well, I'd say 2 minutes, but the moderator is. So 1 to 2 minutes to briefly describe your solution. Tell us about the problem you're solving and how have you intentionally designed for inclusion and accessibility.
So one of the biggest things I've brought away from this is that meaningful accessibility solutions are often built by people who live in them, and Dalza is definitely that. Sorry, I've got my travel voice. Excuse me. Founded by parents of a neurodivergent child who understood firsthand how hard it is to coordinate everyone and everything in a child's life. A neurodivergent child will have many professionals and caregivers during their childhood. Those people are always changing, and it's difficult for us to keep up with the child's constant support, to constantly support their ever-evolving needs. For the child to see meaningful improvement and for the adults to have to communicate and collaborate. Without that, the child is lost. And it's a lot harder than it should be. Parents find themselves repeating the same thing over and over and over again. They have to catch up when specialists change, teachers change, and somewhere in the middle of this, the child gets reduced to fragments. Dalza is an award-winning platform that brings these pieces together in one secure parent-controlled space, connecting educators, parents and specialists around the child and creating one shared view of that child. Child's information, learning journey, and support needs are always on hand and up to date. And our approach to inclusion goes very deep because a child cannot be included when the adults around them are working in silos from partial or outdated pictures. Real inclusion is about seeing the whole child and about communicating with everyone in their life.
Thank you so much.
If there is any solution that has validated the assumption that, or the hypothesis that the deaf and hard of hearing learner needs assistive technology to help improve their learning outcomes, then it is the Deaf Can Talk app. So the Deaf Can Talk app, as you can see on your screen, is an assistive technology for deaf and hard of hearing that provides accessibility for them in the classroom and outside the classroom. All you have to do is to click on the education, come to the library, and then the approach is built on 3 interconnected pillars. The first one is a library of learning and resource materials in sign language. Over the years, educational contents are available to deaf and hard of hearing, but then they are not accessible to them. And so we have created these contents in their primary language, which is the sign language. And all you have to do is to come to the library, search for the content you are looking for. We have a number of the contents here. You can just type the topic. If it is living things, you can just go ahead with living things. Click on the video. You can maximize it.
We'll share the resources,
Yes.
the links in the, yes.
Have you ever wanted or make something alive?
So we have all these
This lesson,
curriculum-based contents in sign language for deaf learners. Aside that, we have an assistive tool or an assessment tool that is able to monitor and evaluate the progress of the deaf learner at the end of the lessons. We have integrated what we call a note-taking AI that automatically records live lessons for deaf people because the deaf learner leverages the eyes to do listening in an inclusive classroom. And so in between lectures, they are torn between writing important notes and also listening at the same time. So our algorithm automatically records these live notes for deaf learners, and they can focus using the eyes to do the listening. And at the end of the lesson, they can sit back, read through, and create a customized version of the notes for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Ike. Thank you so much. Pretty passionate about EdTech. If you could just also make yours brief. I've already been warned about time.
You know, we are used to talking, so please don't be too hard on us. This is a sign for my name, Lillian. I'm the founder of EdTech Education. So what we do ourselves, we develop and distribute locally relevant, accessible and inclusive digital learning content for learners who are deaf across primary and secondary schools. And just recently, we've also entered into the market of neurodivergent learners. So our business essentially is to ensure that these learners get the foundational numeracy and literacy skills from an early age to ease up the transition to primary, secondary, and university, and the job market as well. And I'm so happy to be here. And let me just mention this since I won't get another chance. I also do work with, I know a lot of us are not into content, but we have websites. And a lot of your websites are not accessible. So I also do work alongside that to ensure your website are accessible for persons with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Georgina?
I need to stand, sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Georgine. I'm the founder of Studio KSL at eKitabu. How many of us understood what I said? So imagine your world without a language. And this is the reality of 34 million deaf in the world. and only 2% can access education through the sign language. So think about that a bit. 95% of deaf children have their first exposure to sign language when they get to school. But the teaching and learning materials, are they accessible to them? No. Are the teachers fluent in sign language enough to support their language acquisition and literacy? No. Language is the basis of human interaction. It's the window to the soul. Without a language, what happens? For deaf learners, that means low literacy levels, affecting their cognitive and social emotional development, which impacts their academic performance. Our solution is called digital story time, and basically we use the power of story in sign language to provide access learning materials for the deaf learners in sign language. We have designed our solution to use the universal design of learning principles, multiple engagement, multiple means of engagement and expression, multiple means of representation. That means our solution is accessible to everyone, including children with diverse needs. The solution is accessible in sign language and have audio description, human narration in audio. They have closed captions, so it is easy to read. So that means anyone can access. You are also welcome to access the digital storytime .ekitabu.com. Feel free and interact with it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Eugene is one of the most inspiring persons that we have on the fellowship. Mark, over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark. I am founder and CEO of ScribeMe. First, let me share with you a small part of my personal story. I was actually born fully sighted, and then I started to lose my vision in 6th grade. And ever since, my life has been very different. I've used magnifiers and other stuff to help me magnify on papers and documents. And in 10th grade, I became blind and I lost my vision completely. And this was probably the worst part in my life, because I wanted to major in engineering, and in order to do that, I had to take physics and chemistry. And as you all know, physics and chemistry is all about visuals, charts, diagrams, visual, everything. And when I asked people, what do blind people do, how do they study, the answer I got was, go find something easier, and go study literature or psychology. I didn't like this, and so I decided to take this into my own hands and try to learn programming to solve this problem. After a lot of programming, teaching myself programming, working day and night, I was able to publish the ScribeMe, which is an app that helps any blind and visually impaired individual to study and live more independently. When it comes to studying, all you need to do is upload any document like a PowerPoint or a PDF. ScribeMe will be able to scan the text, read all the text, and also if it sees any image, it's gonna describe it in details. So if you have a chart, it's gonna tell you, you have an x-axis, you have a y-axis. The line is going up, which indicates that there is a positive change. Basically everything to help you study independently. And we also have Live Assist, which is an AI that can see through your phone's camera. And how does this help in EdTech? Is in classrooms, for example, professors or teachers might play videos in class. And these videos are not accessible since it might not have sound or audio. So how does a blind person deal with it? And so I'll show you a 15-second demo.
The view's mostly blocked by something reddish-orange, but it seems like you're indoors on a patterned floor. There's a large audience seated in an auditorium, watched from a stage with the patterned floor and paneled walls. This view's from a stage looking out at attendees in a hall with modern lighting and large doors.
So this is a small demo of what the app does. Now all you need to do is point the camera on the screen and it will describe the video as it's playing. And we just recently integrated this with the Meta glasses as well. So now any blind student will feel less different in classrooms, since all they need to do is use the app through the glasses and get everything through the hands-free experience. Currently, we have users from 130 different countries, and our goal is to make inclusion more important in education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. Am I out of time? Completely out of time? 5 more minutes? Thank you so much. So allow me to introduce the next cohort of 3 more. So thank you so much, Mark, the team here. We have 3 more that I just want them to. Craft Education, Kanyisa, and Mavis Computers. If you could just quickly come to the stage. We are completely out of time. Another round of applause to the team that was here. So for the next group again, I think just similar question. Just really briefly, could you describe the solution and tell us about the problem you're solving, and how have you intentionally designed inclusion? How have you intentionally designed for inclusion and accessibility? So over to you, Amy, if you could just kick us off. And no, time is not on our side, so we'll need to make it very brief. You want to use the stage? Sure, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, friends and future friends. My name is Amy, and I'm the founder and center director of Kanisa from South Africa. Kanisa is isiZulu for where light comes from. Our everyday at Kanisa looks like integrating education and therapy into a really specialized environment for our students. The students who attend Kanisa have moderate to severe different needs, and currently we have 2 centers in South Africa, one in Durban and one in East London. At Kanisa, over the last 13 years, we've come to really love a problem. So those of you who work on the ground with different needs, can I just ask if you're a teacher in the room, will you, if you don't mind putting up your hand, if you're a teacher. So if you are a teacher, you'll know that assessments and lesson plans for children with different needs can be quite complex, can be quite lengthy, and can take in the region of 10 to 15 hours on a weekly basis. As an example, this is what an assessment will look like for one of our students, about 20 pages. So because we're on the ground at Kanisa, because we've come to love a problem and figuring out how we can come with a great solution, we have invented and created Hope. Hope allows a teacher to take what would normally take them 15 hours into 15 minutes. Our online platform allows a teacher to upload a video of a student. That video is analyzed using standardized goals and objectives. An IEDP, which is called an Individualized Education and Development Plan, is then created for that child based on their individualized needs. It's integrated with OT, speech and physio, as well as educational goals. From that, once the teacher okays it, you then have an individualized lesson plan for that child that is written. Those are then generalized for the group, for that class, and you get entire lesson plans and assessments for every child in your class. So it has been a pleasure presenting this morning. We're really excited to partner and to learn more about other organizations in this room. So if you're interested, if we can be friends, future or now, we'd love to hear from you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Busola from Craft Education. Okay, so at Craft Education, our mission is to improve learning outcomes for children with neurodevelopmental challenges. Now, many therapists, parents, and teachers, they struggle with fragmented data, inconsistent tracking of learner progress, and limited access to evidence-based education plan. So this makes it difficult to create personalized learning for individual children. Like I learned from one of the sessions earlier today, like no 2 persons are the same. Like there are different range of people on the spectrum. So to address this problem, we have created 2 complementary solutions. We have UNO. UNO is a learner and data management platform. It allows therapists, educators to create learner record, and it also allows them to create individualized education plans, assess evidence-based learning content, and track learner outcomes over time. And then we also use AI to generate session reports and provide recommendations for future learning sessions based on the recorded data. Then we have Ubeta. Ubeta is an AI-powered behavioral therapy assistant, and it supports parents, teachers, and therapists by providing real-time support and guidance whenever they need it. Ubeta also allows to carry out child screening with like any children, so you can chat with Ubeta, answer some questions, and then it creates reports helping you know where the child is on the spectrum, and also making recommendations for how you can like provide support to the children. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's make it brief also. Really brief.
Okay, so last, I'm Chemweno Chagan. I'm the CTO and founder of Mavis Computer Limited. So I'm taking all of us away from here to the very remote area of Borno State, where there are learners that have never, children that have never had contact with English or math. They're out of school completely. And now the stigma of being out of school is compounded by the fact that if any of them have like ADHD or dyslexia or anything like that, it's very difficult for them, their parents, to even want them to be enrolled in school. And now, even if if you want to say, take teachers there, most of the good teachers don't want to go there. And you don't even have good teachers there. If you decide to only train the teachers, they'll go to the towns in search of better opportunities. So how do you provide very good education for people in these areas in a way that is sustainable? Technology, right? But then conventional technology right now, it's going to change eventually. But right now, conventional technologies, if you take it there, the parents will take it and use it for what they need to use it for. Tablets, phones, all of that. Because they have more use than just education. So how do we do it? And we have the talking books. It's very easy. I'm going to use it here. And it's in the language of their immediate environment. So it's just made of a pen and of the book. So all you do is turn on the pen and then tap on the book. Thank you so much. Yeah. So all you just need to do then is just turn to any page and tap. So I'm just going to teach. So this is Hausa. So I know a lot. So imagine a Hausa child that has never learned English before, and you want to teach them how to say good morning. Even when you meet someone in the morning, they don't understand that. But imagine they just tap on the teacher here, and this is what they hear.
Da safe ana cewa ina kwana ko barka da safe. Da turanci sai a ce good morning.
So basically, you're taking them from what they don't know, what they know, to what they don't know. And if you tap on the right things, it just says it to them in English. So this is like for people who have ADHD and stuff like that, it's like a teacher that never gets tired of them. And the children learn in small groups facilitated by a learning facilitator. There's so much more that I can say, but I think I'll just stop here.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for everyone for your indulgence. Thank you to all the fellows for the incredible work that you're doing to make learning more accessible and inclusive within the continent. While we've only had a few of the solutions, they represent a much broader community of innovators tackling real challenges within the continent, particularly for learners who are left behind. Please join me in recognizing and giving them another round of applause. Thank you so much for your commitment. Thank you so much for indulging us, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Asanteni sana.